stand or POS stand? Definitely no. So that is one of the crazy thing about data breaches. Now let me take our memory down. This is a save, right? And this is a mobile phone. There is something similar about these things. The fact is that they store information, and the information that are stored there are, they can be sensitive information, right? They can be non-sensitive. But then what is stored in the safe is definitely sensitive. You can't store insensitive data in a safe, right? And so all we're trying to say is security has been happening in the former days, in the olden days. But since the technology have been improved on, more innovations are coming. Definitely, we need to incorporate how this data should be secured as well. It's still the same data, right? Both the former days data and these days, the modern day data, they're still the same. Now, the modern computer environment, as a computer science student, you agree with me that we have numerous amount of data every day. Data are generated every second, right? A lot of data are generated. Now we have some of these sources that we can get this data from, and that's the same sources that attackers also put their mind on and focus their attention to. Is it printer? Exploit can be, if you network a printer in your organization, exploits can be developed to hack into your network from that printer. So your printer is not really a safe place. Is this smartphone you want to talk about? Is definitely not safe. The virtual private network as well is not safe. Most of us that are using free VPN just to tweet. Okay, oh, nothing is safe. We have industrial control systems, alarm systems. If you watch all these intelligent movies, you see how alarms are being manipulated just to bypass security controls, right? Your tablet, your laptop, your desktop, and your servers, everything, nothing is actually secure, nothing is safe. Okay, uh sorry about that. There's something in cybersecurity that we call send it to the initial sender. That data is said not to be, you know, to be, it's not really, it doesn't have what we call integrity. It has lost the integrity it's supposed to have. And also the availability. There's what we call the denial of service attack. Denial of service attack is a type of attack that happens when the legitimate owner of a system doesn't have access to that system anymore. You understand? So what a cybersecurity person is supposed to protect is these three things. We have more than this, but then you're supposed to protect the confidentiality of that data, the integrity, as well as the availability. This is what actually make up security. The fact is that everyone is at risk, right? Facebook, I really have a personal beef with Facebook because if you're on Facebook, you can be be tempted to share everything about you, right? There's a lot of peer pressures and all of that. You share everything about your life on Facebook, which is really not supposed to be, because you don't know who is tracking you up. The fact is, cyber criminals, every little information they get, they keep, right? They keep. Once they pick up one information from that place, you went to grocery last week, you went to this place like today, you bought new shoes and all of that. They put all these pieces together to be able to kidnap you, to be able to hurt your families and other things. Now your mobile phone everywhere, right? You use it even in the on the bus, and while you're working, you're still using your mobile phone. People can, it's you know, there's what we call mobile cloning. There are some devices that can clone your mobile even while you are using it without you even knowing. You understand? So everyone is at risk because we use these innovative technologies, and these technologies actually come with risk. You have to limit your password usage. Writing your password down, it's actually very, it's not a good idea. People are not organized. We don't even know the kind of mail we receive. We don't organize our emails. You don't know which email is coming, which one you're not expecting, which one to click on, which one you are not supposed to click on, right? And then actually this high debt attractive to foreign actors is because most of us want freebies, and from that freebies they get to attack or they get to target you as a user. Now, cybersecurity or data security is all about protecting the data, right? Now, the security principles still remain the same, which are the CIAs are explained. The theft is easier because technology is easier. You know, data theft is easier these days because the technology is becoming easier daily. You understand? So, definitely, when there is an advantage in something, there should be a downside. There is a downside to that innovation as well, unless we want to lie to ourselves. So lots of data also equates to lots of value. I used to tell people, my clients, that they shouldn't keep data they don't need. Why would you collect someone's BVN when you're not performing any financial operations on your website or on the software you're developing? Right? It doesn't make sense. So all these are bringing in an attack vector for attackers, for hackers. So if you don't need those data, don't collect them because the value of your data is getting richer. And once attackers get hold of it, they'll misuse it. You have different type of cyber security, cyber attacks. You have malware attacks. You have man in the middle attacks. You have phishing, drive-by, password, and all of those attacks. So you can check them out. But these are the kind of different ways that attackers can get hold of your data. Sorry, I don't really like speaking more, so that's why I'm actually rushing. But I hope you guys are following me now. The result of cyber attack, even considering the Marriott hotel data breach I discussed earlier, definitely we have loss of data because those guys encrypted the data they have on their servers, on the Marriott servers, and begin to exfiltrate those data. You understand? Without even those people knowing, the security analysts of the Marriott hotel knowing. Now, destruction of softwares. There's something I just posted on Diary of Hackers just recently, that it takes a developer hours, several hours, to develop a thousands lines of code to develop a software. But just a few lines of code is what is needed by a cybersecurity attacker to be able to destroy that software. You understand? So you have denial of service. I think I've, uh, I've explained that earlier. Now, snowball event also happens in the form of you. There are some events that you cannot even know are happening, right? Some attacks, some things that you might not take note of. But the fact is, your reputation is being damaged and all of those things. Now, credibility of government is damaged because, well, our government don't take things serious, although don't take security serious. I was working on somebody on a project, and I was suggesting, sir, let's incorporate security to this project. They say no. What they need is for this project to be executed, how UX and UI can be, you know, can yes, can how they can use it successfully. Exactly, how the UI UX can be implemented successfully, and they are not actually concerned about the security of it. But then when it comes now, everybody will be running helter skelter because all the work they've done for the past will be destroyed. Slowing the automation of processes will definitely come up in terms of, definitely when guys attack, you will be thinking of how different methods to automate the process you already have. From the Mario data breaches, look at it, 2.9 million encrypted payment card numbers. So these guys have 9.1 million payment card numbers from those guests, the guests that have
Excuse
come.
me, sir.
So
The slide is not showing. No, I think it's not moving. I don't know if you
it's not
change
moving.
the. Yes.
It's not moving. It's just on the one slide.
It's
Wow.
just in that first slide, sis. I don't
Yes.
know.
First light.
Yes,
Yes.
it's on the first slide.
Oh shit. Wow. Okay, let me reshare. How about now? Can you see? Sorry.
Yes, we
Yeah, we
can
can
see.
see it down. Ah, this serious though. So you have caught my attention since so that what do
It's
I do
because
now?
of you were saying about the total this thing attack. That's why I was thinking maybe you are referring to the first slide you displayed. That's why I called your attention.
Okay. Alright, let me just brush through. But you guys saw the map, the threat attack.
No, no.
Okay. Let me show you the threat attack. Yeah, can you see this?
Yes, yes,
Alright. So we have almost 60 million attacks just today. 60 million attacks, and from the right hand side you see that Nigeria is not left out. We have Nepal, the top targeted. Nigeria is part of it. I guess it's because today is independence of Nigeria. So definitely to definitely draw attention to a world scale. You understand? And then we have different industries that they are targeting over here: the education, government, and the ISPs, which is the network providers. And we have the different type of attacks that are being thrown out to all these countries, right? Yes. So I'll drop the link so that you can check it out yourself later. Okay. Wow. Can you see my slides now?
yes.
All right, cool. So this is the Marriott data breach I talked about earlier, and then I try to explain what the kind of the kind of information we have stored in the past and what we are storing now. I think there's an echo here. If somebody can mute himself, please. Then it's still the same data. The olden days data and this day data is being we're having this data to enhance our operations and whatever we have to do. You have the different computing environments I discussed on. You have the printers, which stores basic information that attackers can actually leverage on. We have the VPNs, the control system, and I explained how alarm system can be used to hello, am I still on?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
cool. Yeah, so how these alarm systems can be used to foul the already existing security systems, how our laptop and video and desktop can be a source of target for the cyber attackers, and also explain why security what security is actually all about. It's about protecting the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of existing or new system. And then I explain how everyone is at risk. Your Facebook, the data we're sharing, your own mobile, and how mobile phone can be cloned without you knowing, your own writing down password due to your own negligence, and you not being organized, as well as you wanting foreign aid such as funds and all of that. Now the fact is that data security is all about protecting the data we have, and the security still remains the same. It has to be confidential. Does the data have to have integrity, as well as be available to the legitimate users in any time to access it anytime they want to. All right. Theft is easier these days because definitely things are easier. Technology is becoming very easy to use. So there's a balance that we need to strike here, because the more sophisticated data an innovation is, the more sophisticated attacks can be carried on those innovations. And I also emphasize on the fact that once you have laid lot of data, it gives birth to loss of value, as well as a very huge impact when these data are being carried away or being attacked. Right now, I explained that we have different cyber events that can happen in an IT infrastructure. Right, these are the different ways by which attacker can attack your system. That by malicious software, which is the malware, man in the middle attack, somebody replying on behalf of you. You know, something happened yesterday. I was actually shocked, although not shocked because I know I'm a security person. I know it happens. Now, one of my community members called me that, Joshua, can you please give me your email address? So I sent my Gmail address to him. He said no, he doesn't want my Gmail. So I sent the info at diaryofhackers.com to him. He said no, he doesn't want that. He wants another one. So I sent my Joshua at diaryofhackers.com to him. Now when I sent it, he said thank you. After like 5 minutes, he said I should check my info at diaryofhackers.com. Then I checked the info at diaryofhackers.com. When I checked it, I saw a message from Joshua at diaryofhackers.com to info at diaryofhackers.com. So that guy, what he did was he spoofed my own email and sent an email to the same info. You understand? So that guy used my personal company email to send an email outside to somebody. It's called spoofing in security. Now, what I want you to know is it can happen. He said I should fix it up. Immediately, I actually did fix it up, which is called vulnerability assessment. Right. So it means that guy can send a message on behalf of any organization to any other organization, and you will not see it because it will not land your inbox. It's the one controlling it from that end. So we have different various means that these attackers can use. You understand? And once you're not taking security consciously, everything can just slip away, right, from you. You have the DOS, you have the password attack, you using simple password, you have phishing attack because you need fast money and all of those things. Now, the result of cyber attack is absolutely not a funny one, right? It damages reputation. I explain how trusting you having a POS stand, you give the person your ATM, and immediately all your money were snapped away. Will you go back to that same POS stand or something the next day? Definitely no. So that's the same thing with corporate organizations. You that is trying to launch or extend cybersecurity, you should be able to understand that business cyber attack impacts your business very well, and if you are not taking your job seriously, it will cause a very huge loss to your organization, as well as people not patronizing organizations and all of those things, reputational damage to your organization. Right now, it's mostly the damage that the organization will have after the cyber attack has happened, right? Now, and then the lesson learned, I explained that credit card numbers in the Marriott data breach were used to purchase online some goods online of the users without the users knowing that it's actually from this data breach. And we have records of people that shows their PII, which is the personal identifiable information, such as their passwords and some other records like that. And then we have some encrypted and unencrypted passport numbers of guests. So just imagine the number of countries that those criminals must have access to, right? Now, I also say that this wouldn't have happened if Marriott have cyber insurance in place, their data security in place, their executive decisions for cyber security are in check, and also the monitoring of their IT infrastructure is in check as well. By that can be achieved by security operation centers as well as the cyber security analysts that will be used to monitor this IT infrastructure. That is the logs that comes from these IT infrastructures. So the last thing I think Marriott would have done is to have regulatory compliance. We have different regulations. We have the ISO 27001 from that's the International Standard Organization, which gives some framework of what an organization is supposed to do to protect their information from being breached, right? And I also say there 98% also actually this is a statistics 98% of data breaches happen by humans, right? It's humans that cause these data breaches for the organization. So it can be that you give out your password unknowingly, you told somebody to log in, or you left your computer unattended to, you are trying to download an unsolicited email attachment, you use somebody's USB on your system, and all of those things. So those are part of what causes data breaches, right? Now we have the pyramid of cybersecurity. The first interface that you encounter is the human. After the human, you go to the data storage, then before you can talk about the security systems. Now, once an attacker gets hold of a security system, forget about the rest, right? Because the foundation of the cybersecurity is the security systems that are in check. Now, we also explained some of the preventive measures you use to put off these data breaches, right? You can map your system. You can keep your system updated by using antiviruses, firewalls, and all of those things. You have access control. You limit the number of visitors and contractors that can enter, the number of persons that can enter who can have access to your company, which is a form of physical security. You can have separate network servers in case if your database server is hit, it will not stop your website from coming up. You understand? So you need to monitor your IT logs 24/7 and also have a backup data site daily so that once even if a data is being hit today, you can take yesterday's data. It's better than having no data at all. You also have to limit your access to sensitive data, right? You shouldn't put your BVN, you shouldn't put users BVN on the website for them to see. So you get rid of what you don't need because those can accumulate and become a problem to you later. Archive files shouldn't be on the network. It should be moved out to your data backup, right? So now the information that is not needed is supposed to be deleted. Identify them and delete what is not needed. If you don't need it, what is it still doing on your server or on your computer? Now compartmentalize all the sensitive data so that you understand it to be organized, not like it to be in different you see BVN in ID number, BVN, all of those things. So you should organize your sensitive data, limit access to mobile storage, purge users periodically. That is the users that have left the organization for a long time. What is their user account still doing on your server? And also use vendors for credit card payment system. Don't say you want to develop your own because you believe you have the strong team. So use what is legit, what is vetted. Now, the summary of everything I've talked about here is to keep security in check. You need to be vigilant. People should be first line of defense, as well as know what you need. You shouldn't give access to a cleaner your boss's password. That isn't really cool. Then encrypt your sensitive data so that even though a data is stolen, it will be harder for the criminal to use it because it's encrypted, right? So use 2FA, especially if you're on social media. All your accounts you have two-factor authentication. Are you a developer and you use Namecheap? Let your Namecheap account have your 2FA. You understand? Don't let it just be password alone. We are moving away from the password era to a passwordless era, right? So we should consider all other security measures apart from the password we're using. Now, physical security is not an option; it's a must. So you should make sure you lock all your server rooms. You put password to your computers and all of those things, right? Now, this is my real area of focus. Are we still on, please?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes, we are.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Now,
I
Yeah, we
heard
this
still
you.
is
can.
this is the sweet part of this presentation because I know most of us here want to break into cybersecurity, right? Now, the main thing that you need to be a professional in this industry is these four things. Basically, is these four things. You need to gather your knowledge. Number one, the knowledge. You need to gather it from the courses you take online. This is the theoretical knowledge you have about the field. The courses you take online, the books about cybersecurity you read, the knowledge you get from YouTube, the learning and the experience you gain from industry experts, and everything you need to put your mind, to refine your mind, to set your mind on a path of, okay, I know cybersecurity. Now your skills is the I can do cybersecurity part. You understand? So I can do deals with you having your hands-on practice on Try Hack Me, on Hack the Box, on Linux Institute, and all of those platforms that you can use to improve your skills. Sincerely, your knowledge can bring you into a job, but your skills is what will take you a long time. You understand? To stay on the job. Your knowledge can bring you into the job, but your skills is what will make you remain on the job. Without the skills, um, without the skills, you definitely not have you wouldn't stay much on the job. You wouldn't stay for long on the job. Now your ability is the sense of you making use of your skills and knowledge to be able to use your knowledge and your skills to be able to perform on the job. Some people have the knowledge, they have your skills, but they have probably imposter syndrome and all of those shit. You not believing in yourself. No, if you have the skills and the knowledge, definitely you should perform on the job. And then if you are given a job, don't say you can't do it. And this what leads me to experience. You need to gather experience because the more you are given tasks, the more you know it, and the more exposed you are, right? Hence the experience. So because you need to move from a normal starter to a professional, and without the experience, you can't move. Okay. Now, do your research. Oh God, I've said a lot about this part, and it's just so unfortunate that network messed up. Now, you need to do your research in a way that a lot of field exists in the cybersecurity domain. Now, I emphasize on the fact that you can be a fashion designer and do cybersecurity. You can be a cybersecurity fashion designer. How can that be possible? Fine. You can create a shirt with swag. We call them swag. You can create a community swag. I am a cybersecurity expert. I am a I love cybersecurity. I love to hack the box and all of that. You can do that. Put on Twitter, put on LinkedIn, and tell people to place their orders. People will place their orders, right? You can be a musician. You research your lyrics, your theme, right? You put everything together, sync for CyberSock, sync for CyberDome, submit to their management. Definitely, they will give you something, probably a job offer and all of those things. You just need to be creative about finding a niche in this cybersecurity domain to be able to 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 get your feet into it and do well in the field, right? We have a lot of things. You can be a secure coder, you can be a badass hacker that you can hack into any server. If yeah, I remember in 2019, I volunteered for a jam training center. Do you know what happened? The server they want to use for those students gets locked out. Now they forgot the password. It's a window, I think 2012 server. They forgot the password. And they were looking for who can do this thing, even with their money. They were looking for who can help them get rid of that password because students are already waiting to write jam. And server did not respond. They were looking now. They now asked me, should we do cyber security? Then I think I was in 200 or 300 level. I said yes. They said you should be able to do this thing. I was just looking because my skills are not up to date. I don't know how to use 2012. I don't know how to hack 2012 server. So I had to contact the then uh is more like a senior friend now, more like a mentor now. That was who now helped them out to say, okay, this is it. And he built them. They had to pay him steady cash out, no stress because he knows the work. You understand? So you need to know what you are good at and be able to level up, right? So the overall goal of security is to protect. You understand? The overall goal is to protect people, to protect organizations, to protect processes, to protect softwares, to protect technologies, to protect innovations, anything to protect is all about cybersecurity is all about protecting and protecting, right? Now, you can just make sure you can be a security guard in an organization. It's part of physical security, right? You can be an IT support, like you're telling people what to do and what not to do. You can stand out in that regard. You can be a cybersecurity analyst. You can be a SOC operator. You can be a cyber diplomat. You can be a cybersecurity awareness educator. You can be plenty other. We have plenty other fields. You can be a secure coder, just like I've said. So just make sure you are not sitting on the fence. Try and do something. Try and level up in the field. So, guys, I hope you've had me. I am very sorry for the network. In fact, my apologies to now is it's now too much. I don't even know if you guys will forgive me. So, thank you so much. I appreciate.
Thank you, sir, Mr.
You're welcome, sir.
Joshua. I don't know if you were the one who were taking us on the data breach the other time. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello.
I can
I
hear
want to
you.
know if you were the one that gave us one hint on data breach and the last time.
No, I wasn't.
Okay, okay. Let
Yeah,
me
I'm
just ask
supposed to
this
be.
question. I'm not talking
Okay.
about this week. I'm not talking about this week. There was a previous, like sometime
No, no,
last
no, I
month, I think.
wasn't. I wasn't.
Okay. No, there was a case of whereby we were taught about this identity theft in F secure website.
Yeah.
Yeah. There like a situation whereby I have a data breach. Now, I was unable to see the site which the data was being breached because I was seeing combo collection something on my own
Yeah.
email. So I
Yeah.
was looking for a way to rectify the issue. So I couldn't. I want to know if there's any solution for that.
Okay, like I don't really get it. Like